Now, here in this next section, we're going to talk a little bit about a sort of timeline of some key dates that you want to be aware of in 12th grade. And one of the things to keep in mind is that while this is a sort of overview of some of the most important dates or the most common deadlines, every single school in the country pretty much has some variation in one or more of its deadlines. So depending on the colleges that you're applying to and even the types of things that you need to get from that college, whether it's scholarship, whether it's early action, early admission, you're going to have to, as a family, you're going to have to do research into what those application deadlines are. And I would say this is also another point of key leverage for all of you parents in the audience, right? Helping your kids keep track of application deadlines is a place where you can be hugely valuable because chances are you're a little bit more organized and have fewer moving parts in your life than your student does when they're trying to balance school, extracurricular activities, a social life, also filling out college applications, also potentially preparing for an SAT or an ACT, right? Your kid has a bunch of different moving parts going on. So this is an area where if that's something that you are good at or comfortable doing, you can really help your students out by getting them organized. And if not, if you're too busy or maybe that's not your strength, this is also where finding them outside support can be really useful. In terms of the 12th grade timeline, some of the key dates to keep in mind are August 1st, which is already passed. That's when the Common Application and the UC application and pretty much most college applications of different systems are released for the upcoming cycle. So if you're planning on applying to college to enter in fall of 2023, or if your student is planning to apply to college to enter in fall of 2023, the applications that you're going to be your family's going to be filling out, that your students going to be filling out, are already available. On October 1st, the updated financial aid applications are going to be released. That's the FAFSA, which is the federal student aid financial aid application, and then the CSS profile, which is used by about 300 private colleges. October 10th to 15th, kind of that mid-October range, is going to be your first set of genuine application deadlines. Now, these are mostly early action programs at public universities, but there are application deadlines as early as October 15th, right? One of the interesting trends we've seen in admissions in the last couple of years is that application deadlines have been spread outwards. Sometimes, in some cases, they're getting moved earlier and earlier. In other cases, they're getting moved later and later into the new year. So October 10th to 15th, kind of mid-October is that earliest early action deadline. It is still the case that the most common early action and early decision deadline for colleges is November 1st to 5th, somewhere in that range. November 30th is also a really critical date because it's the University of California application deadline. Why they don't have this on December 1st, I couldn't tell you, but it is an important deadline. December 1st is then a very common scholarship and sometimes a regular decision deadline. The most common regular decision deadlines are between January 1st and 10th in that early January period. And then February 20th to March 1st are commonly the sort of endpoint of financial aid deadlines. But financial aid deadlines are even more over the map than application deadlines. So that's something that, again, if you're applying for financial aid, you're going to want to make sure that you're aware of that. Now, some other key dates to just keep in mind are the SAT and ACT test dates that are upcoming this fall. So there's an August 27th SAT, but it is technically too late to register for that exam. You've missed both the sort of the normal registration window and the late registration window. But it is still possible to register for the September 10th ACT, the October 1st SAT, the October 22nd ACT, November 5th SAT, December 3rd SAT, or December 10th ACT. Now, amongst these ACT exams, these exams, the SAT on October 1st and the ACT on September 10th, you're going to get your scores back before most of the early deadlines, right? Most of those November 1st and November 5th deadlines, they will accept your September 10th or October 1st SAT or ACT score. The remaining 4 test dates, the October and December ACTs and the November and December SATs, those are going to get back to you too late to really go into the hands of colleges before an early application, but they are still going to be usable for regular decision applications. And then the next set of SATs and ACTs is not usually till February or March after the deadline for most schools.